2 weeks ago, I had the great privilege of joining a team from the synagogue on their trip to Prague. And here at Westminster Synagogue, we run a wonderful program for our children, which is called Or Shabbat. And it really serves all the kids from when they are born up until when they are ready to start preparing for their bar or bat mitzvah. And we don't always hear about them. Sometimes we hear them. And sometimes they also come to the service here, but otherwise we don't know much about them, right? But they are in the building, they are in their classrooms down there in the basement, and they are learning about Jewish values and rituals, and they have wonderful teachers and tutors, and some of them you were able to see actually last week when we had the Beyachad service. So, but once they all turn 10 or 11, they begin their journey towards becoming bar or bat mitzvah. And this program really lasts 2 years, and they meet weekly here at the synagogue, and they learn in a group. They have to learn how to read Hebrew, they have to learn how to read from the Torah. Again, they learn more and more about the services and about our rituals. Each of these kids, they also have individual tutor who's really preparing them towards the big day, and they meet with Rabbi Benji or with myself throughout this whole process. So as you can imagine, it is quite involved process, and I cannot really see myself as an adult to really committing to 2 years of weekly learning to prepare for something. It would have to be really, really special. So I totally want to appreciate their commitment and effort, sometimes maybe unwilling, but that's for another day. Some of the kids, and we are very mindful of that, they do not go to Jewish schools. And the only contact they have with Judaism or with their Jewish peers is actually here at the synagogue. And that actually makes us even more committed to provide them with opportunities to build meaningful connections and relationships and bonds. And that is why there is a wonderful part of the Bar and Bat Mitzvah program, which is a special trip to Prague, as it happens. We have a deep historical connection here at the synagogue with Prague due to the Czech Torah scrolls. And I must say I'm also personally very proud that I can show them around Prague, and I can bring them to my home community. So 2 weeks ago we went to Prague, accompanied by our teachers, Maya and Julieta, and we had 9 children from our Bar and Bat Mitzvah program. And we had an unforgettable time, really, truly formative for all of us, also the teachers. And we learned so much about our shared Jewish heritage. We learned about each other and about ourselves as individuals. Some of our students even traveled for the first time without their parents, so that was huge. Inevitably, we lost some things along the way, but we found friendships, which is good. We indulged in far too many sweets. We were on a boat trip. We competed in a treasure hunt among the stunning Prague architecture. That was a highlight. And we visited 5 historic synagogues and my home synagogue, of course, as well. One of the most powerful moments, I think, was when we confronted the painful truth and we saw the Pinkas synagogue in Prague, which is all the names of the Czech Jews who perished in the Shoah. So I don't know if you have been, but if you enter the Pinkas synagogues, all the walls, you can imagine all the walls of our sanctuary would be covered with names. And they are just one name after the other, all the names who did not return. So it was very moving to be there, but it really helped us to understand what happened back then, and it also helped us to appreciate and be grateful for all the comforts we have now living in London today. Even in these difficult, challenging times, we are still having a good life here. We also laughed a lot, we were mischievous, and yes, we were tired and we were cold, because it's November. We met other Jews in the community, and we learned a lot about how the songs that they sing at the Reform community in Prague, they are different to our songs, and yet we recognize that we are still same Jews. We do the same service. We tried a kosher restaurant, and we also had this famous Prague chimney cake, which is a big sweet filled with ice cream and whipped cream, so that was also very good. We did not see the golem. We did not manage to find the golem, who was supposedly hiding at the attic of the Altneu Shul, but we left with friendship bracelets, so I think that's cute. At one point, it got really, really scary when our returning flight to London was cancelled, and we had to stay one extra night in Prague. For the kids, this was a dream coming true. Not only did they get one more night to whisper secrets, but they also missed school on Monday, as I heard, with the Latin test and with the French test. So, as you can hear, it was really special and precious time we had together. And even though I was super exhausted and I felt like I did not sleep for 3 nights, the experience really left a great impact in me and also in the kids. And maybe you might be now wondering, what does this have to do with the service? Where is the spirituality in all of this? And well, sometimes I think, and maybe you do that as well, but I definitely do it, that spirituality is something that must happen in the synagogue, in a place of prayer or in some sort of holy site. But we have just seen in this week Torah portion, Vayetze, that spirituality does not have to happen in those special places. It can emerge in places where we least expect it, in moments of transition, in moments of discomfort and uncertainty. We, in Parashat Vayetze, hear about the story of Jacob, how he's coming from Beersheba to Haran. He's fleeing from his brother Esau. And the Torah tells us, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. He came upon a certain place and stopped there for the night, for the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of that place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. So Jacob is journeying from his home, from the comfort of his ancestors in Beersheba, to a new and unknown place. He is caught in this in-between space, between the old and familiar and the new, unfamiliar and unknown. And in this moment of discomfort, he lays his head on a stone, which again is a powerful symbol of unease and uncertainty. He falls asleep in this space and has a vision. A ladder is extending from earth to heaven, and angels are ascending and descending, and he sees the divine standing next to him and hears the voice of God. Then he wakes up and he exclaims, "Surely the eternal is present in this space, and I did not know it." So this seemingly ordinary and unremarkable place, miracle happens here. God communicates with the human, not in a grand temple or in a holy space, but in a place filled with dust and rocks. The Midrash teaches us that the stone that Jacob used as a pillow was the same stone that his grandfather Abraham used as an altar when he was trying to sacrifice Jacob's father, Isaac. And another Midrash then connects this place to the Mount Moriah, to the place of future holiness, to the place where the temple will be built one day. But in this reading, in this story we are at right now, it is just an ordinary, unremarkable place, really. So the holiness of this emerges not from the place, but from Jacob's experience. This teaches us that the holiness is not confined into synagogues or ritually designated spaces. Holiness often surprises us, appearing in the moments when we feel most uprooted uncertain, or when we are in transition. It is in these spaces, just like on the place where Jacob rested his head, that we can encounter the divine. So like Jacob, we must learn to recognize holiness wherever we are, whether in the discomfort of the travel, or in the cancelled flights, or in the uncertainty of the unknown. There is always potential for divine connection and spiritual growth, and for patience. I'm really happy we planted lots of seeds of holiness on our trip to Prague. Each moment of discomfort, the flight cancelled, the cold weather, it really brought us closer together in the end and turned into unforgettable moments that I hope will now forever occupy a super special place in the hearts of our kids here at the synagogue, and I hope they will be really drawing lots of inspiration for their future Judaism. Shabbat Shalom.